So this is the second one is polymer chemistry, and I highlight the one. And this is actually, if you go to the your kitchen, there is a saran wrap, the plastic wrap. This is actually very high tech monomers, and this monomer looks like this. And then I'm gonna write it just to wanted to give you an idea. Carbon with a double bond with carbon, with hydrogen here, and the chlorine. So that's once again I write it there, and then the C with chlorine here, and hydrogen. So I just simply rewrite what is written there, but what I'm going to do, what I want to do is, I want to distinguish the double bonds. So I delete one of the bonds here and make it into our, let's say, something more graphical. So I guess the red one represents the p orbital. They start to form this pi bonding, right? So that's why it's a functional group, and the blue line represents sigma bonding, which is just a skeleton or connectivity of the atoms to make up the molecule here. And the one way, easiest way to look at this molecule is now is our chlorine, hydrogen. So I'll just put this one skeleton first. And then what I want to do is, this is a pi bonding, and pi bonding is break it into two electrons. Actually, I want to put it on the side so that it's easier for me to visualize. So let's say this pi bonding is dissociated into each electron is donated to the other one. So this one stopped obeying the octet rule, so it's very unstable. We call the radical, but they can happen this way. And as soon as they form radical and radical, they can immediately form a new bonding. Okay. So what you see here is this pi bonding is gone, and this radical form new sigma. And they also going to do the same thing with their neighbors. Right? But as far as I'm concerned here, let me just think about, put a bracket here for this monomer. I used to have a 1 pi bonding. That one is essentially forming 2 sigma bonding and half. So what you see is essentially double bonds are gone. All the double bonds are being to form new sigma bonding with the neighbors. So the scenario is become very simple. It is much more complicated than I just explained, but it's a simple way to look at it is, okay, pi bonding, 2 electron, each electron form the sigma bonding with the neighboring monomers so that they can form the new sigma bonding. And then all you gotta do is just keep on writing those chemical structures. And the important clue is monomers are alternate, means if this is a monomer, this is a B monomer, A monomer, B monomer, A monomer, and B monomer. So they kind of alternate their sequence, forming a long chain molecule. So I can write this chemical structure now. This is a very easy problem, and it's something that is quite frequently shown up in the exam. And it's very easy. Once you figure out the double bond becomes single bond, all you gotta do is essentially having this double bond switch the single bond to the neighboring monomers, and everything just stay in place. So all you gotta do is essentially, I'm writing this one first this way, CH2, CHCl, CH2. I do this. I write the same molecule in a different way, CH2Cl. So I just write things A and B. This is a, this is a B, this is A, this is a B. And so far, I just use a sigma bonding, and then I'm going to essentially draw the new sigma bonding. And when you see that for the first time, this is how I write it, and all the chemistry major students are writing it. But you will find that it's kind of given to that. For example, this is a given that I'm not telling you that hydrogen and carbons are connected. We all assume that you guys know this, right? So the way that we are writing is, the way that we draw this line in organic chemistry, we focus on the connectivity between the carbon atoms, and everything else is they're supposed to do their job, which is a hydrogen-carbon bond has to be formed, or hydrogen-carbon and halogen bond should be formed to make all sigma bonding molecule, which is not so reactive. So that's why your saran wrap is stable at room temperature for a long time that you guys can use for the food packaging.